evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we're live for the final time in Season 8, Tier 2, and it is the Austrian Grand Prix. 18 minutes of qualifying, followed by the 50% race, 36 laps of action here around Spielberg. 10 turns in total, one of the shortest tracks, if not the shortest track, in fact, in F1, of course. EM just on an outlap at the moment, swerving around. He's got the Aston Martin very close to him, so he's a little bit careful there. But of course, again, all of the drivers are on outlap. So that is Boy Knockout, who is now the new first driver, because EM was the first to head out. And there's support for the Haas team with Woody from Link's Piece in the chat as well. So good evening, Links. Hope you're doing well. We are live across both Twitch and TikTok this evening. The Twitch UFRL Formula 1 and the TikTok UFRL _F1. So Boy Knockout then heading out of turns 9 and 10 and serving a qualifying ban. That's what he's doing. Therefore, we'll go to EM, who is going to start out of turn 10 and leading through into the Niki Lauda curb around here. Then on turn 1 as Boy Knockout indeed does serve that quality ban. So here we go with EM on the Williams. And it will be his debut in Tier 2 this evening as well. He has raced in the 100% tier previously. I think that was a week or so ago. And that was actually at Netherlands where he did make his debut. Didn't actually finish the race, however. So he's hoping to make a Tier 2 debut by finishing, I think, would be his ideal scenario. Good evening, Coffee. Hope you're doing well. And let's see how Tier 2 will go tonight. No Flynn, rather, that's the name I was trying to say. No Flynn on the show. So, therefore, does it offer drivers an opportunity to win? Cheers, Links. Yeah, probably does actually offer an opportunity to win now. I think ARC Mickey's been in tremendous form. I think that's 5 consecutive podiums to his name now. Can he make it a 6th consecutive podium to round out the season, as they hope to finish 3rd in the championship as well? EM 104.9 for his first lap in qualifying. Havoc Connor, the second driver, serving a quality ban as Angry Badger runs wide on the medium compound tyre. 105.7 for him. And also you're going to have ARC Mickey 105.0, and that is P2. Not the strongest qualifier, Mickey, but he does have plenty of pace come the actual race event. Viking Fox up next. Gandalf slots into P2. What about Viking? It's P3 for Viking. You can see already how close it is between Gandalf, Viking, Mickey, and also EM. And Silky Stevens goes P2, 105.046. Incredibly close between that top 5. Little over a 1/10 of a second separating them, as Hybrid is on a lap, and you've also got Destroyer Drag heading into turn 3. So we'll go back towards Hybrid with that in mind. Yeah, very close times. Of course, Angry Badger is on the medium tyre, so you wouldn't expect him to naturally go as quick anyways. So let's see what Hybrid could do. Through into turns 9 and 10, a double right hand on this occasion, and the Red Bull just fighting his way through on those soft tyres. Here we go for Hybrid, and he's not really burning the battery, so it's only a 109.8 as a result. We will just drop back and see what Destroyer Drax up to. Very short lap time here, as you can tell, barely over 60 seconds long, and in the races you're probably hitting 109 lap times, 108, depending on what tyre you run, as Destroyer Jack runs a little bit wide, so therefore invalidating his time. Would have been a 104.7 and would have been quickest so far, in fact, for Destroyer Drac. So we got Cannon on a lap as well. That's still going to watch out for Hybrid. Let's go back towards Cannon, middle sector, 45.028. Up the Haas, come on Woody, say his deck as well, so plenty of support for Woody here. And can Cannon fire on a lap through turns 9 and 10? Again, around a double right-hander. Here we go, as he avoids going wide of the mark, and Cannon to the line. Is it quickest? Yes, it is. 104.7. I would have been very close to Jack. I think Destroyer Jack would have been marginally behind that lap. Or actually, no. I think he would have marginally beat it by that 0.02 of a second. He set a 104.703, I do believe. Destroyer Jack would have been just ahead of Cannon if he did not invalidate, but of course he has also invalidated his next lap as well. So we've got Jar Jar Bing, and we've got Woody on a lap as well. Mr. Potwash too. Oh, where's Jar Jar at the moment? We're going to go to Mr. Potwash then. as he will be the next driver yet to set a lap time. One of the Alpines heads into the pits, and that will be Destroyer Drac. So let's see then, what can Mr. Potwash do? You've got Silky Stevens still out on track, currently in P3, but Mr. Potwash on the lap is P7. So it's a 5.5 for him. What about Jar Jar Bing next up for the Aston Martin? And Jar Jar Bing will go P8 at 105.5 as well. You can still see very close lap times on the grid at the moment. Now we've got Woody just here as well, heading round into turn 9 as well. But he will be heading into the pit lane. So Woody deciding not to finish the lap, and you've still got Silky Stevens as well on a lap. So he's going to push on again, and he's got the Ferrari just ahead of him. That will be Mr. Potwash. And then further just ahead is ARC Mickey, and Mickey is improving now. So let's see ARC Mickey. He'll hope to get Alpine up onto the podium again. As I've mentioned already, that will be the 6th consecutive podium if he can get it to finish off the season, which will be quite an entertaining fixtures really. Set of results for ARC Mickey post Christmas as well. So let's see if ARC Mickey can get another podium. He would definitely be enjoying a win. He's got a couple of wins during that run as well, so in fantastic form is ARC Mickey after what he would probably consider to be a reasonably slow start to the season. Obviously he didn't race round 1, and then he rejoined after that. Yeah, a bit slow off the line, and then all of a sudden you get to round 9 and he's picking up podium after podium and then win after win. Yes, ARC Mickey is probably the most informed driver, bar Flynn, and obviously Flynn's not racing. Therefore, has that already made ARC Mickey the favourite going into tonight's event? So we've got Hybrid did improve by half a second, 105.7 now, just behind Angry Badger. Let's go back towards Jar Jar, improving through Sector 1 by half a tenth of a second. Could get him ahead of Mr. Potwash potentially, and if he does really push on through the middle sector, could even challenge into that top 6 as well, as Viking Fox joins Gandalf on an outlap. Destroyer Jack also on an outlap, and Jar Jar Bing gaining by 0.3 of a second now, so he is definitely looking to push on with that top 6 up the field. So he'll definitely get ahead of Mr. Potwash here, bar any mistakes through turns 9 and 10, which he does avoid. So Mr. Jar Jar Bing looks good for an improvement. Where would it put him? And it puts him P2. Jar Jar Bing with an absolutely brilliant effort there, and he's just ahead of EM in the Williams. So really good stuff from Jar Jar Bing. That's put him into a position where he will be satisfied with, no doubt about it. He would have wanted to be somewhere in and around that top 5. And what a lap time. P2 for Jar Jar. Let's go back. Hybrid not improving. Jar Jar. What about Angry Badger gaining by a 10th now? He'll be hoping to be around his teammate Mr. Potwash, do you imagine, with this lap time, as he does avoid running wide. And Angry Badger to the line. It's a 105.3 that's ahead of his teammate, and it puts Badger up to P8. As we'll head back down and see who else is on a lap. Gandalf gaining by almost 0.2 of a second. So he could be a threat here for Cannon if he can continue that improvement, but he runs wide. Does not invalidate somehow, and goes second fastest. It's a Mercedes 1 and 2, but he definitely ran wide. Very surprised the game did not invalidate his lap time there. For me, that should have been an invalidation. I'm very shocked. I can guarantee you it is strict corner cutting. But that should have been an invalidation for Gandalf, surely. Very surprised. So we've still got a few other drivers back on the lap. Woody into Sector 2. We've got Epic Frenchie in Sector 1, now going into Sector 2. And Destroyer Jack also into the final sector, but not on a lap. We're going to go towards Woody then, as he's going to head into the middle sector split time. And it will be a 44.901. I think we saw a 44.8 earlier on, as he does invalidate as well. So we're therefore going to go towards Epic Frenchie and see what the Williams can do for the middle sector. Woody is one of the best qualifiers in Tier 2, but on average this season, Cannon, I do believe, has now been the best qualifier in Tier 2. So he's going to be the one to watch in qualifying. As you can see, he's already quickest ahead of his teammate Looking good for Mercedes if they want to win that Constructors' Championship. They've got an opportunity potentially even tonight. I'm not too... Actually, I will double check on that. Epic Frenchie 5.1. It is P8 for the Williams. So their main contenders obviously on the Visa RB, who are currently P5 and P6. We'll actually have to double check to see, can Mercedes win the Constructors' Championship in this race? It's going to be difficult though, because there could easily be post-race penalties as well. I think really what Mercedes needs to do is just put in a good performance tomorrow night with Woody Fernandez and Mrs. Poem. I think Woody Fernandez has a one-place grid job to serve as well. As Badger does invalidate, but Cannon goes a lot quicker. It's a 104.3 and EM 104.8, and it's P3 again for EM, but Cannon absolutely flying with that second effort there. 4.3, and he is already just over 3/10 quicker than his teammate now. Yellow flags. Destroyer Drac in a bit of trouble. Of course, he did have that late DNF in the last race round at Monza. In those mixed conditions, it went from the intermediates into the dry conditions in the end. Did they actually start full wet? I can't quite remember. I know it was definitely at least intermediates. As another improvement is set there, Salty Stevens now rising up into P4. So plenty of improvements coming around. Cannon still on track, EM. And then, yeah, Salty Stevens with their lap time just there. We're going to go towards Mr. Potwash. But yeah, for Destroyer Jack, it was an unfortunate race for him last time around with that late DNF. 0 points for the Alpine. But again, he hasn't actually done much running at Austria. I do know that on this game. Audio is slightly delayed. Let's see if I don't know if I can do anything at all for that. Do anything, I'll try and do something after quality. But I haven't been made aware of that issue yet. I'll see if I can do anything though. Mr. Potwash then still is P11 5.5. We'll go and have a look towards Woody. He is in Sector 1. Just heading into Sector 2 now. Purple first sector. So Woody could be one to watch. Competing with the Mercedes pairing in that top 2. Jar Jar Bing still heading round, but it has invalidated. Should head into the pits with just under 5 minutes of qualifying remaining. Viking Fox into the middle sector again, not improving. So we'll look back then. But we'll just go towards Woody then in the middle sector, see what his Sector 2 split time will be. And it is a 44.9, pretty much on par, a little bit behind what he had done earlier on. But he did invalidate that run, of course, so Woody slightly behind on his previous effort, but at least on this occasion has not invalidated. Easy to go wide at Austria, and Woody to the line. It will be a 4.8. And it's going to be 4th fastest for Woody. Destroyer Jack still P14, a 13.6 for him. Hello Tajani, it's a ghost. Yes, Destroyer Jack though, still P14, looking to get a proper lap in really. Obviously a 13.6. He would obviously go much quicker than that. Probably expect him to go into the 4s potentially, Destroyer Jack. Yeah, you definitely expect a sub 105 from him. ARC Mickey out on track as well on a potential in lap, not using his battery at all. Has got enough time to go in the pit and head back out for one final run, but it looks like he's warming up a tyre, so clearly just trying to go for a warm up. So therefore Mickey is preparing, it seems, for a lap. And Silky Stevens is one on a lap as well. Of course, we just saw Woody to go 4th fastest. Now he's heading into the pits. Have a look further up. Gandalf not on a lap. So therefore, we'll just stick with Silky Stevens, gaining slightly through the first sector. And now into the middle sector, not improving. So therefore, Silky Stevens will move away. What about ARC Mickey? Not improving. Epic Frenchie, 5.1 for him. P10 for the Williams. Invalidation for Angry Badger, so he can have a chance to go again. Still in hot up, may want to go out of that. And you've got Hybrid into Sector 3 as well. And it has been burning its battery, so we'll stick with hybrid for the time being. For those in the TikTok, I will pop a link in the chat. Just bear with me a second. Copy a link. So if anybody wishes to join, I know there's a couple of messages from Dylan and from Meki. Feel free to join off that link, and that will head you into the UFRL server. We do race Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then also Friday, Saturdays. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are all pace-based. So you've got Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. And then Friday night, 100% tier races. And Saturday, international tier, which is pretty much free for anybody in the league to race in. Hybrid and P11 5.2 for him. So we'll head back towards Silky, but again, not improving here. And Gandalf playing it smart, it seems, using the slipstream. And he is gaining a bit of time. Is it going to be enough to make it a Mercedes 1 and 2 come the end of qualifying here? No. No is the answer to that question. Thank you to answering that very early. I got ARC Mickey still out there, but again, not on a lap. A few drivers have been going for an extra 1 or 2 outlaps, to be fair. And Mickey certainly has been one of them. So we've got Silky also invalidating. Only just under a minute to go, so Silky Stevens may very well be the last driver to cross the line and start a lap here. But I'll be honest, I'm not sure you want to be warming your tyres up too much with 40 seconds remaining. Several drivers making sure they are off track as well. You've got Destroyer Jack coming through, and then you've got Mickey here just about to start his lap. About EM, he is just heading into sector 1. So yeah, it is pretty much the last chance now. If you're going to improve, this is the time to do it. Mr. Potwash invalidated. So that'll be it for him. Badger is on a lap. Hybrid, what about him? He will probably just about get round to start his final run. I think yellow flags for Silky Stevens indicates to me, is that his qualifying over? How long have we got left? We've still got the yellow flags. He's going into the pit, so it is going to be qualifying over for Silky Stevens. Therefore, we're going to have to go to those drivers who are pushing on. Viking Fox, the first of them. A very strong driver in Tier 2. He'll want to push for pole if he can. 5.0 to beat for his lap time. And to the line, it's a 4.7. It's P4 for Viking Fox. So he does rise up the order. We've got EM coming through, but not improving. What about ARC Mickey? He's well back on time. Let's head towards Destroyer Track. This could be the lap time that he has been waiting for. The Mercedes have the checkered flags out. 1 and 2 for the time being. Track comes through to the line. It's P2. He splits the pairing. He does split them. And so a couple of DNFs there. You got a Williams of EM. He drops to P7. And there you go, Hybrid into the pit. And ARC Mickey also into the pit. And what about Epic Frenchie? He is done. And that means Cannon holds on to pole. But Destroyer Jack and Woody comes through late on as well to deliver a 3rd place ahead of Gandalf. Gandalf drops to 4th place in the end. But it is Cannon on pole for the Austrian Grand Prix. Another immense qualifying session from the Mercedes there. Cannon shooting for the stars, it seems, in qualifying sessions this season. He's been strong in races as well, don't get me wrong, but in qualifying, yeah, that's where he really shines. Destroyer Jack will be happy with his efforts too, in 2nd position. We'll go through the full qualifying classification. Speaking of the classification, here it is, and so Cannon will start on pole position for the Mercedes, and it will be P2 for the Alpine of Destroyer Track from a Tier 1 driver. Woody lines up 3rd fastest, one of the strongest qualifiers this season in Haas, and Gandalf 2nd in a championship, and he will line up 4th for Mercedes. ARC Mickey, who has recently taken back-to-back wins, 5 consecutive podiums, and he is lining up on the 3rd row. Alongside him, Viking Fox, and you've got EM, Salty, Jar Jar, and Silky, all in the top 10, and then you've got 5 or 6 drivers possibly even further back as well. Silky Stevens says he forgot to put fresh softs on for my 2nd run. out. Thank you, Dick. Thank you, Silky, for the sound alerts as well. But anyway, I'll leave you to it. We are going to have a 5-minute break as per usual, and I'll be back in a few minutes' time.
You forgot to connect the drink pipe.
Yes, confirmed.
Is the drink, is it on now? Okay, I have no idea.
We forgot to connect, Jimmy. You will not have the drink, sorry.
Is it on or not? The drink?
No, Jimmy.
Let me know.
No, you will not have the...
No, is the switch on or not?
You mean the slow button?
No, is my drinking, is it emptying the bottle or not?
No, Jimmy, no. You will not have the drink.
And
Right, and we are back, and the Austrian Grand Prix is about to begin in just a couple of moments. So again, this is the finale for Season 8. Season 9 will be starting in about 2.5 to 3 weeks' time. It will be nearer 3 weeks, actually. And we are about to get ready. And the 5 lights will be on. And here we go. This is UFRL. This is the Austrian Grand Prix. Tier 2 action. 5 red lights for the finale. Go, go, go! Cannon and Drag get away. But it's Cannon who gets away the best. Drag with a slow getaway. The Aston Martin has a look. Down the inside they go. But it is Woody who flies up into second. A brilliant start for Woody. And he's on the rear of Cannon now. So it's Cannon from Woody. Drag, Gandalf squabbling with ARC Mickey. And Mickey has a look down the inside onto Gandalf. Through into turn 3 they go, keeping it clean, but it is Gandalf who holds on round the outside. A bit of contact possibly from the back with EM and Viking Fox going side by side on the run through into turn 4. But it is going to be EM just ahead around the outside. And now you've got a possibility. Oh, it's a bit of a mistake there from EM. He ran into the gravel, it seems, lost the place to Viking Fox as a result. So a crucial position lost and make it a possible another one. But the 2 Stevens coming alive. Salty with Silky battling in the championship and battling for position. But it is Salty Stevens who just edges his car ahead. And the 2 Stevens will certainly be vying for position. They will fight like crazy. And they will go all out. Cannon 1099, that is the opening fast lap. Of course it is lap 1, so no doubting that. Jar Jar Bingham does make the move on EM. Down the inside, he goes into turn 1. EM seems to have run a little bit wider than he would have liked and allows for Salty Stevens to push for the move. And Salty gets the move. Woody, meanwhile, takes the lead of the Grand Prix and overtakes Cannon. So it is now the Haas on top. And Salty Stevens down the inside on EM, and he does make his way through, rising up into 8th place now. And Silky Stevens goes around the outside of Epic Frenchie. And are these two still going side by side? Yes, they are. Into turn 4. Go Silky round the outside of Epic Frenchie. And has he got the move done? Finally, it's turn 5 and now through into turn 6. And Epic Frenchie still looking for it, and he does not quite have it. It's Silky Stevens, but they are still running side by side. They are going all out here. It's Silky now. Boy Knockout! Boy Knockout out of nowhere! Fight his way through on Frenchie, and Mr. Potwash follows through as well. Potwash into the top 12. Boy Knockout overtakes, and there's a narrow line from Frenchie. Oh, he's into the wall. He collided to the wall, and Frenchie falls to last. Woody, though, has to leave the Grand Prix, and he has got a challenger in the form of Cannon, Drac, and Gandalf behind. Frantic getaway here in Tier 2. Woody, Cannon, Drac, and Gandalf has a look down the inside on Destroyer Drac now. Traction not quite there for Gandalf. Draclen stays ahead into 3rd place. Battle still ongoing further adrift. Boy Knockout with Silky Stevens going on. And yellow flags for Hybrid, who falls behind Epic French and is in last place now. And there is a move. Oh, a little look down the inside from Silky. As our Connor goes side by side here with Mr. Potwash as well. The action still occurring through the rear of the field. Potwash on the inside, Connor round the outside. Connor swoops through, and Connor's into the top 12. Next up, Silky Stevens, and he's still over Boy Knockout. He wants to rise up towards his teammate Salty, but they have lost some time. And Salty on the rear of Jar Jar is also losing some time to that top 6, who are clear of the chasing pack now. So we're going to go up the field towards Cannon, who is within 3/10 of Woody. We kickstart lap 4:36, and Cannon now will get the race lead once again, the pole sitter, and he is back in merging into P1. Woody looks for a move round the outside, and you've got Drac still there, and Viking Fox having a look on ARC Mickey now, as EM receives a 10-second time penalty. I did see the Williams off track as well in the background, so EM unfortunately not in a good place. He drops to P12, and movement battles here. Destroyer Drac loses out. He's lost out to Viking Mickey as well, and Gandalf. Destroyer Drac down to P6 now. So this top 6 certainly seemingly the one to watch, but you've still got battles further back. Salty, Knockout, Silky, Jar Jar, Connor, EM, Potwash, Badger, they're all still there. Frenchie's closing in. We are barely outside of the 1 second window. Very close here in Tier 2. The top 6 are in the pack, and all of those 7th down to 14th are in that second pack. And we're keeping on with Cannon for now, as Angry Badger received a 3-second time penalty. So what do the Mercedes team do? With Cannon second, with Gandalf third, Cannon rising up now, down the inside onto Woody, the pole sitter, and one of the best qualifiers this season in the form of Cannon and Woody, and they are still pushing on, but Cannon holds on to first place, and now down the inside goes Gandalf on Woody, side by side out of turn 4, and into turn 5, and it is Gandalf who takes P2. Woody in P3, but he's got Mickey for close comfort now, and Viking and Jack still following in behind, and ARC Mickey is all over the rear of Woody as they look to make a move into the top 3 for what would be another podium in Tier 2 for ARC Mickey. Yellow flags and for Jar Jar Bing, who falls down to P15 behind Frenchie, still ahead of Hybrid, who has pitted in the Red Bull. Let's keep on with this, and ARC Mickey certainly feeling quick now, isn't he? Getting used to things. We'll look on the tyre situation, and the tyre situation, as you can see, mediums and hards all round. Epic Frenchie into the pits in the finale, and he will get rid of his medium tyres, and he will have damage, of course. We saw it sustained a couple of laps ago, and a move now being made at the front. The two Mercedes going side by side. Gandalf and Cannon. Not too sure Willie Fernandez would be enjoying that as the Mercedes team principal. They would like these two to be working together, I'm sure. And we'll move away from that situation then. And there's a move also from Viking Fox, who has a look round the outside on ARC Mickey. And they will be running side by side, but a mistake from Woody. And Mickey goes through. And Mickey back onto the podium. And here comes Jack. Jack down into the Viking. He gets his way through. And Jack is into the top 5 now. Now top 6 though, with an excellent battle, and they could be charging through until the first round of pit stops for this set of top 6. So back on with Destroyer Jack behind Woody, but Woody now closing the gap a little bit towards ARC Mickey. Does anybody dare make a move into turn 1? Always challenging to complete and execute the move into turn 1. You always find turns 3 and 4 are naturally easier to make moves, as Viking Fox now does make a move, and sadly it's with Destroyer Jack, and there you go. That's what can occur at turn 1, and Destroyer Jack now drops down to P12, but the two Mercedes further up the field. Cannon and Gandalf switching places, and Mickey, is this his chance to rise into the top spot? Mickey round the outside on Gandalf into turn 4, possible contact ahead, but looking at it, ARC Mickey cannot find his way through, and now he's going to go down the inside, but he does drop in behind, building. He did not want to lose too much time. He knows the race win's on, but he has another look down the inside for the double left-hander span at turn 6 and 7, but in the end ARC Mickey just falling in behind and drops behind Gandalf. Yellow flags, and I think it's Destroyer Jack again. After what was such a promising start to the race for Jack, down to P13. Sadly for him, he has a lot to do from here to get onto that podium. Havoc Connor into the pit, and I think Destroyer Jack has done another spin, and it is another spin out of turn 7 into 8, so unfortunately for Jack, I think he just needs to cool those tyre temperatures down, get them back up and running really, as we've got another move here from Mickey. There's a look round the outside, but there's a move on the inside from Woody. Woody, 3-second time penalty. Getting a little bit out of sorts there in this battle with Viking Foxlow, and Viking does find his way through, and Viking is into the top 4. Woody just dropping in behind. They have opened up a bit of a gap towards Boy Knockout, who has got Salty and Silky for company. And side by side here, ARC Mickey has a look at the inside of Gandalf once more. He's been looking at this move ran down the inside for the past 2 or 3 laps now, but has been unable to make the move. We are just going to drop down towards the 2 Ferraris. Mr. Potwash, who has made a move on Angry Badger, and Potwash into P9 now. So we head back up the field. ARC Mickey still on that rear of Gandalf. You can see just how close he is getting. Does he want to risk the move into turn 1? The move where his teammate had that little consequence a few laps ago. Mr. Potwash, 3-second time penalty. Both Ferraris with a penalty, in fact, in this race so far. And here we go with Mickey again. The 2 Ferraris once again trading places for P9. Down the inside, ARC Mickey with another look on Gandalf. Cannot quite make it work, and he will still settle for that 3rd place. Will possibly just drop back to the Ferraris, and I will, as Angry Badger and Mr. Potwash go side by side No team orders at Ferrari, and Badger just about stays ahead. And yellow flags for Hybrid in Sector 3. There you go, those two just staying put. We're going to see if Mickey wants to have another look down the inside on Gandalf. He's always threatening for that move, but he's just not quite been close enough just yet. That's Hybrid into the pit. Silky Stevens, 3-second time penalty. Hybrid retiring from the Grand Prix after 9 laps, unfortunately for him. And that'll be his final race of the season completed tonight. Now, Cannon and Gandalf continue. They do look like they are working together, I think. I do believe Gandalf is just dropping back once you get into Sector 3, allowing Cannon to stay clear, and then Gandalf could defend from Mickey. It looks like that's the Mercedes strategy here. As ARC Mickey now, he's finally going to strike. Down the inside he goes on Gandalf. Into turn 3. Has he finally got the move? Maybe a little bit of a clip. Nothing major. Here comes Mickey, but he's still behind Gandalf. Gandalf accelerates really well out of turn 3 to hold on to second place. And what still remains to be a Mercedes 1 and 2. Yellow flags still in the first sector, although that was just for the Hybrid. DNF, EM into the pits as well, and that'll be another disappointment for Williams, sadly, in this race. The position changes there for you. Up 2 for Gandalf, Mickey, Viking, down 2 Woody, up 2 Salty, up 3 Silky, up 7 for Boy Knockout after a qualifying ban, up 4 for Badger and Potwilson, up 5 is Havoc Connor, down 1 Frenchy, down 11 Drac, down 5 Jar Jar, and down 8 EM, and down 4 for the DNF of Hybrid. Stops as well on for you. 1 stop for Connor, Frenchy, Jar Jar and EM through the early stages of this Grand Prix. ARC Mickey, and here we go, a swap at the front, and now Gandalf makes a move on Cannon, and they do run in side by side. It looks like Gandalf has just got himself ahead, and he has done. Yellow flags, what's occurring here? Oh, there's a bit of a contact possibly. The two Stevens, have they come together? I do believe the two Stevens have come together. Silky lets his teammate by, and Salty's into 7th. But they've both lost out to Boy Knockout, who is now into the top 6. Back on here, the two Mercedes, and here comes a move. Down the inside is Gandalf, round the outside is ARC Mickey. They are through the double left-handers into turn 6 and 7, but it is ARC Mickey who does find his way through with Gandalf. He has been pushing for that move non-stop for several laps, and finally he makes it work. Now he can have a charge on Cannon into either turn 1 or turn 3, wherever he feels is best. And he's going to have a look into turn 1. It could be a risky move. Down the inside goes ARC Mickey on Cannon, but Cannon holds on, and now is that allowing for Gandalf to push his way through. Now it will be a 3-way battle up into turns 2 and 3. Here we go. Down the inside is Mickey. Through the middle is Cannon. Cannon holds on to the lead. A little bit of a squirmy exit from Gandalf, but it's still Cannon, and Gandalf wants to make it a 1 and 2 again, and he does make it a 1 and 2 again, because he's back through on ARC Mickey. Viking and Woody still there, and move down the inside for Viking, Box on Woody. Boy Knockout has joined, Silky and Salty have joined. It's an 8-way battle now for the victory. We are 1/3 of the way through, and it is back to 8 cars now. Viking Fox through down the inside of Woody, and up into 4th place he goes. And now Viking is 1 second away, and he's losing time to those podium sitters. As ARC Mickey has another look on Gandalf, found the outside, then on the inside, but he stays in behind, and that allows for Viking Fox to close the gap to within 1 second here. So on with Woody. It looks like this pairing just about keeping up then the podium sitters. They will all have DRS, luckily for Viking in particular, as a move being made by Boy Knockout further back. Mickey with another look down the inside, and he stays behind. What about Boy Knockout then? He is going down the inside of Woody. He wants 5th place. He does get 5th place as well. So Boy Knockout's up there. What about Silky or further up the field? Got ARC Mickey. This is for P2. Mickey on the inside, but he does not quite go for the move and stays behind Gandalf. The two Mercedes working well, but Gandalf remains under threat from ARC Mickey, as he has done through much of this Grand Prix so far. And you got Viking still having looks, and Boy Knockout, Woody, Silky and Salty, the two Stevens brothers, in 7th and 8th. as Silky Stevens has a look, and further up the field we've got ARC Mickey. ARC Mickey, down the inside Mickey, he gets the move done! He only finds the gap and only enters the pits. It's Gandalf. Gandalf is into the pits straight off the bat. He lost that place to Mickey and then decided, you know what, I'm boxing. And he is joined by Viking Fox and Woody as well. How wise is the strategy to go for the early pit stop here? You've got the trio of Woody, Gandalf and Viking Fox. Where will they land their cars out? We are on with Gandalf, who's got a little bit of a gap there to Woody and Viking. And if he can put it right, he can pull away. But it looks like Woody is just about within a second. And yes, he is. Very close. But he's held on. So stop situation still one for you. But ARC Mickey, boy knockout, look at the gap now towards Cannon. He's got a 1.3 second advantage. So Gandalf really did work well to hold up Mickey there and ensure Mickey cannot stick with what is Gandalf's teammate. But now he is pushing. Back within a second now is ARC Mickey, and that brings through Knockout, Silky and Salty as well. So just a reminder, Gandalf, Woody and Viking Fox, that was a trio who were in this pack, and they have already pitted on the previous lap. And all 5 drivers, Cannon, Mickey, Knockout, Silky and Salty, all staying out for another lap. How long will they go? And also, let's just double check the tyre situation. As you can see, Cannon and Salty are the only 2 in this battle on the medium tyres. So Cannon and Salty the ones to watch. The other trio, Mickey, Knockout and Silky, are on hards, which could be very favourable for them as Mickey goes down the inside into Cannon and does make his way up into the race lead. The hard tyres at this point will probably be the strongest, but also, and that's Boy Knockout. Boy Knockout with a risky move round the outside. They are going to go side by side as well. Again, through the double left-handers through to turn 6, and out of 6 into turn 7. They're still holding it round the outside. Boy Knockout, he gets his way through on Cannon with a lovely move, but a 3-second penalty at that as well. And Boy Knockout, he's behind. Cannon will stay out now. Cannon stays out, as will Silky, as will Salty. So they're all going for another lap. Cannon really trying to extend these tyres, which is quite a smart strategy, I would say. When you're in a DRS train with hard tyre runners, you can push for as long as possible with them. It could be favourable for your race. As our moves being made here, Mr. Potwash getting involved. Mr. Potwash actually is pitting, and Woody receives a 3-second time penalty. And he's ahead of Gandalf and Viking Fox as well. On board here with Gandalf. Potwash still heading out of the pits. Let's go back up the field towards Mickey though, who is now losing the place to Boy Knockout. I am interested to see how much time they are losing as Woody and Gandalf are going side by side. Gandalf on the inside, Woody around the outside. You've got a view here from Viking Fox as well, just having a lovely watch of the pairing up ahead. Let's see if Woody has a look on this occasion. Not quite. Viking, oh, a bit of contact there. Woody just running slightly into the rear of Gandalf. Nothing seems to have occurred, however, and Viking Fox still behind. What about Silky though, making a move now on Cannon, and Cannon is into the pits from his medium tyres. And now where would he come out compared to this group? So you've got Gandalf, Woody and Viking Fox. They would have wanted to open up a minimum of a few seconds. Have they opened up a minimum of a few seconds on Cannon, as Mickey overtakes Boy Knockout into turn 3 and is up into the race lead. But we are just sticking on with this because we have got this trio coming through. Gandalf, Woody and Viking Fox. They are leading, they are the net race leaders then, as Knockout back through on Mickey and up into P1 again. But they compare this towards Cannon and Salty, who are about 2.5 seconds adrift now. But they are on fresher tyres, of course. So Gandalf, who all of a sudden did lose the place to Viking Fox, so now down to P7, which is a net P3 in this race so far. Let's go back up the field then towards Knockout and Mickey. Anybody looking to pit? No. They all decide that they're going to go again, as Silky Stevens is the one who has fallen out of DRS range. And ARC Mickey having a look on the inside, but not making a move on Boy Knockout. looks like he will make the move here. Is he going to go for it down the inside, or will he stay behind? He decides to settle for what is currently P2, 106.5. Fast lap of the race for Woody. Again, currently is in the net race lead, but he does have time penalties as well, which would allow for Viking Fox to be your net race leader. But Boy Knockout and ARC Mickey in particular, but also Silky, they won't want to be too far away. And you get the impression that these two, Boy Knockout and ARC Mickey, if they can keep working together, keep plodding along, and they can find themselves in the pack with Cannon and Salty Stevens if they keep working together. But it will take them a few laps to pick it up though. So it's a risky strategy to keep going long, to keep staying out, and it looks like, I thought for a moment ARC Mickey was contemplating a pit stop. He is staying out, but of course they're both on hard tyres, I believe. I will just double check it once again. And yeah, all of those yet to pit are on hard tyres. Woody then does make his way through an Angry Badger. It's going to be a bit of an uncomfortable attempt to pit there for Badger, but he has just made it work. Woody, Viking and Gandalf then are now out and back again, coming through. Cannon with Salty Stevens, and that duo, they are certainly catching at 2 seconds behind, and they want to keep up with that improvement as Boy Knockout and Mickey continue their way through, heading into turn 4, and Boy Knockout stays ahead of ARC Mickey. Looks like Mickey is just happy to stay behind. I think he's just thinking, I want to reduce the time loss to the leaders, or the net race leaders shall we say. As our move being made there, Woody losing out both places at the end. And what about this? A bit of contact between the two drivers. Gandalf side by side with Viking Fox now. Viking has the inside line, but it is Gandalf who finds his way through and back up into net P1. ARC Mickey is through, or Boy Knockout. There are yellow flags. And there are yellow flags for Destroyer Drac. Yet to pit in this race, unfortunately, for Drac. But it's not been the finest of Austrian Grand Prix for him. As Boy Knockout then out of the pit, he did opt to undercut ARC Mickey. As we can see here with Gandalf, Viking, Woody, and then you've got Cannon, then you've got Salty. Boy Knockout coming out the pits now, he is not that far behind. Moves are being made further up the field, and you've got Viking Fox down the inside on Gandalf. And has he got his way through? Yes, he has. May have gone a little bit deep there, though, as Viking. And that should allow for Gandalf to get a big chance. A big helping hand of the slipstream. And up into turn 4, he is back into net P1. Or is he? No, they are going to go side by side once again. Gandalf with Viking Fox. And you've got Woody, Cannon and Salty Stevens all of a sudden have caught up to this battle now. And again, they are all on fresher tyres, those two. The tyre situation there, 3 laps fresher, and another 3 laps fresher, or mediums, is Boy Knockout. Into the pits goes Silky Stevens. And also, we're waiting on the first stop for ARC Mickey. But we're just going to stick on then with Viking Fox for the time being. I'm just going to get a quick drink, and then I'll be straight back into things. And straight back into things. Right, Cannon, 3-second time penalty, and Viking Fox now making a move. And is he going to go down the inside? Yes, he is, on Gandalf. They are still side by side out of turn 3. And all the way up to turn 4, and the 5 cars are all together here. And coming through, Cannon down the inside on Viking Fox. And has a look at the inside of Woody. Goes too deep, low. Cannon goes too deep and goes into Woody. And I've got to admit, I think that will be a penalty to Cannon, surely. He's just gone too deep there into Woody. I mean, you don't want to go much deeper than that. I mean, he possibly could have even ended up off track there. And Cannon will likely receive a penalty for that if we are being realistic about things. It was just too late, unfortunately, for the Mercedes. Too deep into the corner. And yeah, I think that will be a penalty for Cannon. Let's go towards Boy Knockout then. He's on the rear of the Mercedes here. Oh, a bit of an error there from Cannon. And that would allow for Boy Knockout to come straight through. And Salty Stevens also losing out to Woody. And Woody now up into 4th place. Viking Fox still there with Gandalf as well. And Woody has a look around the outside on Viking. ARC Mickey still yet to pit in this Grand Prix. He will go for mediums or even softs. So we'll see how things go. Right, I'm going to see. Will that let me copy it again? No, I don't think it will. But what I can do, paste that. If you join on the Discord in the TikTok, I've just put it in, so you can join on the link, and it will follow you through into our Discord channel. Yeah, the flags for the background. It looks like a possible Alpine again. It may very well be Destroyer Jack again, and it would have been Jack again. ARC Mickey is into the pits then. Where will Mickey come out compared to this group of 7 drivers? Almost 8 really. There will be 8 come when Mickey enters into it. And where is ARC Mickey? He's on the rear of it. ARC Mickey on fresh medium tyres is on the rear of the front pack. Woody and Gandalf go side by side. And this is perfect for ARC Mickey. He's surely going to win this race from here. I'll say, he's not far away from tier 1, I can't lie. With how quick he's been looking, especially over the past 6 rounds of racing. Very quick has been ARC Mickey. Right up there with Flynn in terms of form, looking for a 6th consecutive podium. And this would be a 3rd victory in that run if he can win again tonight. He is in incredible form. And he's already found his way through on 2 of them, Cannon and Silky Stevens. No match for ARC Mickey. As putting out the slipstream just ahead was Boy Knockout there, and Silky Stevens. Oh, a Cannon! A little bit of contact, and Havoc Connor retires on the pit. But yeah, certainly contact there between Silky Stevens and Cannon. And it certainly looks to have impacted Cannon the most because he has dropped down the field now. Yes, Connor joins Hybrid and is out the race. Boy Knockout down the inside, he goes on Gandalf. Here comes Mickey, ARC Mickey with the great attraction, and he will head into turn 4 side by side. And Gandalf going to try and brake later if he can, and they are going to go through. What happened to Woody? Something happened to Woody. I think he lost traction. Woody lost traction on the exit of turn 4 and drops from P1 down to P7. And incredibly close. Salty Stevens runs wide, and he's going to be at it because Silky's right behind him, his own brother. Rev up the field once again. ARC Mickey all of a sudden is onto the podium. He's on the rear of Boy Knockout. Don't forget, Mickey was right behind Boy Knockout through a lot of their laps together. As he does have a look down the inside, stays behind Silky Stevens, 3-second tyre penalty. He drops behind Woody now. We are going to go back up the field towards Boy Knockout, who has a look around the outside on Viking Fox. He's in behind still, but now he's going for it with another inside line, and he does find his way through. And Boy Knockout has to make the move with Viking. What about ARC Mickey? He has a look around the outside, stays behind, but here he goes with the traction and the grip out of turns 4 and into 5, and out of turn 6. Mickey round the outside, Viking on the inside, but Mickey ploughs his way through, and Mickey is up into 2nd place on lap 25. Still 12 laps to go, or 11 laps to go after this lap, and he is in pretty much race winning contention once again in tier 2. ARC Mickey. Woody 3-second time penalty in P7. But it certainly looks good here for ARC Mickey to go on and deliver a 3rd win and a 6th consecutive podium in tier 2. Back on with Gandalf then. Still looking to apply the pressure to Viking Fox. He knows his teammate Cannon is not really in this battle, unfortunately. Cannon behind Woody now. Both drivers are over 2 seconds back. As it looks like Woody's actually lost more time there. But yeah, he has. He's dropped in behind Cannon in the end. So Cannon back up into P7. Not sure if these two can possibly work together. It looks like actually Woody has a bit of damage. Certainly looks like it from what I'm seeing in the front right. Looks like it has disappeared for Woody. Whether or not that was due to the little bit of contact after he seemed to have lost his car a couple of laps ago out of turn 4, I suppose it's possible, but yeah, he is losing time. So Boy Knockout and ARC Micken, and they have opened up a gap over Viking, Fox and Gandalf. And now, down the inside goes ARC Mickey on Knockout. He does get the move done. And will he get DRS? It looks like neither driver gets DRS, interestingly. Very much peculiar out of that one, but Boy Knockout now around the outside. He does find his way back through on Mickey. And what about Gandalf attacking Viking Fox now? And then you've got the two Stevens brothers still squabbling for positions. Here comes Gandalf once again on the inside of Viking Fox. Mickey back through on Knockout as well. Those two were going side by side. Going side by side also with Salty rather. Salty Stevens with Viking Fox now. And don't forget Silky, the teammate of Viking, brother of Salty, who has a look down the inside on his teammate as well. Settles still for P6. Badger on the rear of Frenchy, and that's over P9 and P10, and Epic Frenchy just staying ahead in this race. Back up the field we go towards Mickey and Boy Knockout. Gotta say though, if Boy Knockout could stick with ARC Mickey, then possibly Boy Knockout could even try and push 3 seconds with that time penalty count. That's what he needs to try and do to the cars behind him. And a penalty situation now, he's got 6 seconds. Never mind that theory. Not going to make that work. Go away from that situation. And there you go. Boy Knockout then with 6 seconds. Salty Stevens also with 6 seconds. And the podium is near enough made up here. ARC Mickey, Gandalf, Viking, Fox look like they're going to take a podium. But in what order? ARC Mickey looking convincing to get the win. But then you could argue Gandalf and Viking are battling over P2 and P3 in this race, because everybody else has a time penalty. And all of a sudden Cannon as well is beginning to catch up to this group of 4 drivers. Where you've got Gandalf, Salty, Viking and Silky. Whether or not that is a strategy from Gandalf remains to be seen, of course, as he's trying to bring his teammate back into play as Woody receives another 3-second time penalty. So still on here with Viking Fox, and we're moving up towards Salty Stevens because now he's going to charge through on Gandalf, and he will approach and make the move up into 3rd place then. But Gandalf now is going to be under severe pressure because down the inside goes the V-carb of Viking. And does that allow for Silky to have a chance? He will push on, but he actually stays behind his teammate once again. All this staying behind your teammate could allow for Cannon to catch up. Still within 2 seconds is Cannon in the Mercedes in P7. And there are more yellow flags. And it is, I believe, a Destroyer Jack once again. Been a very difficult race for Jack. It is double points, don't forget, but he has had his challenges in this evening's affair. So we're back on with Viking Fox. And in P5, he's got Silky behind, he's got Gandalf up ahead. And can Viking Fox find his way through? Find his way through into a possible podium position here. ARC Mickey and Boy Knockout 1 and 2 still. Very surprised really, but I do know they are both on the medium tyre, so it's clearly working well for those two. Whether or not the hard tyres will get back into it in those final 2 or 3 laps, we'll see. But it looks unlikely. Oh my goodness! Silky and Viking. What on earth has happened between the 2 V-carbs? And I feel like the V-carbs have just gone crazy. Was that Silky sending it on his teammate? I think it was, and I've got to say, get the feeling that Shazam's team principal, I don't think he'll be too happy with that move from one of his teammates. But Silky, I do believe it was Silky who sent it down on the inside on Viking Fox. It's very late, and it really could have caused a massive collision between the 2 V-carbs. Very fortunate that both cars are still up and running, and more yellow flags, this time for EM, around his teammate Epic Frenchy as well. Let's hope the 2 Williams haven't come together all of a sudden. Back up with the race leaders and ARC Mickey and Boy Knockout. Mickey looks set for the victory. What will be his 6th consecutive podium in Tier 2. Of course, he has been a previous Tier 2 and Tier 1 champion. Maybe about to make a move up to Tier 1 for next season, who knows? But he's certainly in the strongest form out of all the Tier 2 drivers, including Flynn. So, ARC Mickey really is trying to push his way up to Tier 1 with the rate he's going at. And looks like he's going to pick up another victory here. Yeah, of course, Boy Knockout with the time penalty. I'm sure Mickey will try and get the win away from those time penalties as well, but Boy Knockout has 6 seconds. There's really no chance for Boy Knockout to get home with a victory. But he can still take the P2 here, Boy Knockout. If himself and ARC Mickey work well together, then we are going to see Boy Knockout possibly get a P2 in this race. I'm just going to double check the championship standings as well. Am I right in thinking these two are actually battling over 3rd in the standings? I just want to double check it. I am absolutely spot on. So Boy Knockout and ARC Mickey going into this race, there were 5 points between them. A race win gets you 70 points alone, and a race win for Mickey would see him beat Boy Knockout in the standings. What Boy Knockout needs to do really is try to hold ARC Mickey up, because right now he is dropping out. And look at this, the 4 cars here battling all the way. Salty Stevens, Gandalf, Viking, Silky, Cannon sitting there as well. The 2 V-carbs, and it does look like Silky Stevens is through on Viking Fox now. So Silky Stevens finds his way through. But yeah, Boy Knockout, if he wants to get 3rd in the standings, I know it's not like, oh yeah, I'm getting 3rd, get in. But if you want P3 ahead of ARC Mickey right now, you have to hold up Mickey a lot. At the same time, with those 6 seconds of time penalties, I get the situation where you're in. You're probably just trying to push on, try and get out of the 6 seconds, and then hope maybe that ARC Mickey gets a penalty after the race. I think that's the only thing Boy Knockout's hoping for here. Silky Stevens with an interesting line. The Gandalf line, really. He couldn't have been much closer to the Gandalf line. He's just have a look on the inside of Gandalf, but stays in behind. And you've got Viking and Cannon still there. Back up to the leaders then. But it looks like Mickey and Cannon still clear. As Viking Fox having a look on the inside of his teammate Silky. 2 V-carbs not seemingly working together particularly efficiently. They have been battling each other, especially that move that we saw a few laps ago from Silky. But it does seem to have calmed down a bit now between the 2 V-carbs. They do have a lapped car behind them. It looks like a Williams, possibly EM. Need to be careful with the overtaking, really. I don't really believe in green flag conditions that he should be overtaking in this situation, I've got to say. I don't know. I don't think that Williams should be getting involved in this personally. I know that you're a lap down, you're frustrated. I think it might be EM, I want to say. I'll just double check it. Is it? Yeah, it is EM. Don't want to accuse somebody and not actually be them. Yeah, I think EM would be much wiser just to settle behind, knowing that this is actually a genuine battle for position. Yeah, he would have been better just to stay behind. He can overtake, but when there's about 4, 5, 6 cars all battling for position, it's a lot more tricky. Mickey and Boy Knockout still together, but look at the gap now. They have pulled the 6 seconds away from Gandalf here. So, in terms of the standings, Gandalf will finish 2nd place. Mickey will finish 3rd, Boy Knockout will finish 4th, as things stand. It looks like Cannon is on course to finish 5th. Very close between Silky and Salty, but right now, Silky Stevens, oh, that's actually very close. They may even finish close to level on points, you know. They're not far away. There might be about a point between them as things stand, possibly. I think it might be in Salty Stevens' favour. I think Salty right now. Oh! Ooh, there's a bit of contact between Salty and Silky. The 2 brothers. I think Silky's just making sure his brother knows he's still there. I think he already knew that, but he definitely knows it now. as we are on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix as well. But yeah, the two Stevens are fighting over P6 and P7 standings. They could still beat Cannon, but they need Cannon to drop further back. And they need, really, for both of these two to get a podium. And that's, let's be real, that's not going to happen. Epic Frenzy, 3-second penalty. And here we go then. We're going to have the final bow out of turns 9 and 10 before we kickstart the final lap of the Grand Prix. And Mickey has had an exceptional getaway out of turn 10. And he is on course to deliver a 6th consecutive podium. A 3rd race win in that run as well for ARC Mickey. He is in tremendous form and he looks all but set, all but guaranteed to wrap up another massive Tier 2 victory in what would secure 3rd in the championship. Victory awaits Mickey, but here comes Knockout, going down the inside. He has to put out of it and stays behind, maybe knowing that if he battles too hard he may end up dropping further down in 2nd. But he still wants to make a move here on ARC Mickey. Maybe trying to trip the Alpine up into a mistake. But Mickey still leads. Cannon and Viking having a little battle further back. But ARC Mickey, he is on course to take victory in the finale. He heads into turn 9. And the final corner will round it out of turn 10. And victory at the Austrian Grand Prix goes to ARC Mickey. Boy Knockout for P2. Gandalf will strike a podium for Mercedes. 3rd place, and that could be very close to the constructors secured. Viking in P4, Salty 5th, Cannon 6th, Silky Stevens will take home P7, Woody P8, Badger will come home in what looks to be P9, with his teammate Mr. Potwash in the top 10 as well. So we'll wait on Angry Badger then. To the line, he goes. It's P9. Does he stay ahead of his teammate Mr. Potwash? The Ferrari will take P10. Epic Frenchie is next, and the final driver will be Frenchie. Jar Jar P12. Jack will take P13 in the end, but because he will go ahead of EM. Sadly, for what he's done, does not score points. But there you go. ARC Mickey has taken victory at the Austrian Grand Prix. There you go. I will just double check how many victories he's got this season now. Is that his 3rd or did he get one before that? Possibly. Let's just double check. It might have even been his 4th one. That's why I want to double check it. No, it's okay, so it's his 3rd win out of 4 races for ARC Mickey. There you go. And 6 consecutive podiums. Get the feeling that with that form, Mickey may very well be closing in on the move to Tier 1. There you go. Very quick though, very quick driver. And the podium celebrations are there for you as well. ARC Mickey once again on top. The full classification then. ARC Mickey takes a victory in the finale in Tier 2. Boy Knockout 2nd place, and it is Gandalf in P3. Viking Fox executes 4th ahead of Salty Stevens in 5th. Cannon 6th, Silky in 7th. That means that Silky will finish behind Salty at the moment in the championship. Woody P8, Angry Badger P9, Mr. Potwash secures a double Ferrari top 10. And you've got Epic Frenchie P11, Jar Jar P12. The final driver to finish for the points will be Destroyer Trap. EM will not score points. Same with Connor, same with Hybrid. Once again, congratulations to ARC Mickey on victory in the Tier 2 race. And also Flynn, who didn't race tonight, secures the Tier 2 championship. There you go. That was a tough race for the drivers. Getting all involved as the session looks to have restarted. No reason whatsoever. Interestingly. But there you go. But yes, for tonight's showing, that's pretty much that. You are very welcome, Martellion. Thank you for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed the race and enjoyed the action across Tier 2 this season. I certainly have. The only race that I didn't actually commentate was a couple of weeks ago. I think it was Belgium, which I was gutted not to do because, let's just say, a faulty cable meant I was unable to do it. let's just say, I legitimately mean a faulty cable meant I couldn't do it. But luckily, the new cable, worked for the following week. And then obviously this week was the finale, where obviously it worked as normal. But yes, for Tier 2, that has been Season 8 completed. Of course, Tier 1 finished yesterday. If you haven't watched the race back, it was at Silverstone, so feel free to watch it back on Twitch. And then Tier 3 tomorrow night for the finale, which is a massive championship battle, might I add. Let me just double check who is involved in the massive championship battle. Well, I know a few drivers involved, but I want to check where the race is standing. Right, Tier 3 attendance. If my phone wants to do it, I will actually just do it on Discord on the computer because it's a bit easier. Right, Tier 3 attendance. So, as of tomorrow, it will be held at Abu Dhabi for the Season 8 Tier 3 finale. And for